Hello everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by. Good to see you. Hope you're all doing very well. We're just waiting a little second for our friends who are joining in. Hope you're having a good day. For most of you who have been working or are done with work. Hi, how are you today? Kindly go ahead and type hi so I can know you hear me, please. We're just still waiting for some of our friends to join in. Good to see you. Enjoy the music. Hope you're having a good day. I really appreciate you for joining in. We'll start in just about 5 minutes. Thank you for your patience. If you are having internet problems, just come back and you can re-watch it. It's fine. Yeah, sometimes you know how the internet works. And please go ahead and share the link and invite your friends. And if today is the first time you're joining me on here live, then kindly go ahead and subscribe to my channel so that each time I come on live, you can be a part of it. Also, if you know singles, married people who are struggling with their relationships, even those who are not struggling could use a tip or two. So please go ahead and share the link and invite your friends, and I will just start in just about 2 minutes. Thank you all so much. I do appreciate you. You can also let me know where you're watching from. All right, and so I think we're going to begin. Let me turn down the music. So, how do you get over the fear of marriage? There are so many people who are divorcing these days. As soon as they get married, they divorce. Why? Because the stories we're hearing around us is that marriage is terrible, the woman is scary, women want money. If you don't have money, they don't marry you. Men are cheaters, they are constantly cheating. We're hearing so many different things, so many different stories about marriage, about relationship, and it's really scaring people. And so, how do you get over the fear of getting married or staying married? Also, even when you meet people who are married, they tell you about the challenges, and usually the last thing or the one thing that they like for you to remember is, believe me, I'm in marriage, and if I had the opportunity, I will never do it again. Why? Just because one or two things are in the wrong places, it makes people feel like marriage is like hell. But no, I'm just here to assure you that marriage isn't like hell at all. So, how can you make your marriage or your relationship a great one? There are so many ways and so many things you can do to make your marriage and relationship a really great one. Consider whether your partner is truly the one that's meant for you. How do you do that? You need to be asking questions. I always tell people, when you are dating, during the beginning of your date, ask questions. All the things that mean so much to you, all the things that matter to you, it's at the beginning of your dating stage that you ask these questions. If you wait until the person proposes, you wait until after your wedding, then surely the probability that you're going to divorce is really great. But before you get to the stage of somebody proposing or somebody going through the wedding phase, ask questions. What is your favorite food? How do you deal with anger? What don't you like? What triggers your anger? What's your favorite color? People go to the extent of divorcing over colors, what color to wear, what color to paint their home. I wanted green, he wanted yellow, and so now we have to divorce because we are not agreeing. And you hear people give all these excuses, and it's more like there is something you could have done earlier, or even now. There are so much or so many things you can do to make the relationship work. And so pretty much that is why we're having this conversation. Please go ahead and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. The other thing you can do is to look at your current level of commitment. If you don't feel like you're committed enough to the relationship, then reassess yourself. Otherwise, you might be kind of feel like you're being forced to be in a relationship that your heart is not really in. Don't wait, don't delay that. Sit down with your partner, your spouse, have the conversation of whether you really where you want the relationship to go. There are so many occasions where we just assume that, oh, he came to speak with me, she came to talk with me. It just means that he liked me or she likes me. If they didn't like me, they wouldn't be hanging with me. But no, it's not really like that. You want to make sure that you are very committed yourself. You want to ask your partner, your spouse, how committed they are. That would also help you have the conversation. The fact that one person is not committed doesn't mean you have to leave. Maybe they have certain priorities, they have certain things that must be completed in their life before they settle. And those are the things you would want to know about, which is why it's good to have the communication or the conversation and bring all those things out. That way you can solve the problems. I hope you can hear me. Please, if you have a question, kindly go ahead and ask, and I'm going to respond to it. Respond to the question. I still do appreciate all of you who are watching. Thank you so much. Now, reevaluate some of your old relationships that failed. Ask yourself, why did these relationships fail? For example, if you lost a loved one because you were pretty much not there for them, not listening to them when they were talking about something that mattered to them, then in your new relationship, you're going to make sure that this kind of mistake doesn't occur again. Usually, it's a repetition of things that we have done in the past that did not work. When we see them coming into our new relationships, we don't stop them. It's like you see fire and then you try to act brave around it, and then it starts to burn you before you start running. You know what I mean? Or even try to play with a lion until it wants to eat you up, and then you start running, climbing trees, and acting brave. Meanwhile, you could have avoided playing with a lion by your choices, by whatever you had to do or can't do to help you not go through that problem. Think about your fears. What are the things that you are afraid of? I'm afraid of. Yeah, so ask yourself, what am I afraid of? Why do I think I cannot be in a relationship with this person? Or why am I afraid to settle down? Why am I afraid to marry? Maybe I saw my parents divorcing. Maybe my friends just get married a year ago, 2 months ago, and they are all divorced, or planning to divorce, right? And so it scares you. And what they tell you is, you know what? If you know what marriage is about, you would never want to get married. No, I believe that there's a solution for pretty much everything under the sun. Why? Because you are not the first human being that's coming into existence. Some people have lived before you, right? That also means that if some people had these problems and they were able to solve it, then you should also be able to solve it. By doing what? By finding the right sources where you can find solution. And so I'm encouraging you to also join our groups on Facebook. I will post the link below this video once I'm done. Join our groups, ask your questions. All of this training I'm doing for free, so you're pretty much getting counseling for free. Why don't you seize on these opportunity? Yeah, it's going to cost you nothing but amazing relationship, pretty much just so you can smile and not be afraid of settling down. Think about what you gain from holding back from your partner. You weren't there emotionally for your spouse. Maybe that triggered them to want to speak to someone else. Have you thought about that? Did they complain to you? You're not listening to me when I'm trying to talk to you. It's more like you're leading them on to go on and do something else with someone else, right? So once they have something to tell you, take some time. If you're very busy, schedule a time. At least when you come home, you get to eat. Maybe when you're eating. And if you think it's going to escalate into something different, then do it. Maybe just schedule like 5-10 minutes. And if they say this is going to take a little bit longer, give yourself like 30 minutes out of your whole day to speak with your wife about your relationship, right? That is not a bad thing at all. And so that is what I'm encouraging each and every one of us to do. Sometimes we might think it's easy. Oh, it's not a big deal, but she's making a big deal out of nothing. What might not be a big deal for you is definitely or might definitely be a big deal for someone. And so when they're trying to tap you and go like, hey, I have a problem and I need support, please listen and try and solve it together. It's very essential that we're able to do that. Now, the other thing is speak with a mental health professional if you are struggling to find solutions, or if your brain is telling you so many different things, negative things about marriage, about relationship, even though you feel like you found the right person. Speak to someone else who can help you. Practice some relaxation techniques. Those are very essential to your mental health. Journal your thoughts. Think about the things that are bothering you. Write them down. Think of how you were able to solve them when they happened some time ago and how you're going to solve them this time. If the first time you tried to solve them, they didn't work, then this time I'm sure you've learned something new and you have to try and implement those. Pretty much that's how we solve problems. If, for instance, if you have an exam and you didn't study for it and you fail, the next time you have an exam, you definitely have learned and you're going to study so you can pass. Learn to increase commitment. Committing to your relationship is very essential. You don't have to say to yourself, if it's not working, I'm just going to walk away. When that happens, if that is your mentality, you will barely ever try to fix problems when they come up, right? But that what we are trying to avoid is quitting just because there's a problem. Everywhere you go, there is going to be a problem, or there are problems everywhere, in the church house, in the courthouse, in your home. Every blessed place you go to has a problem. So do your best to increase your commitment and not just walk away. Invest in your relationship. It's yours, right? You want to take care of it. You want to love it. You want to put all you can into it so it can work. And then people are going to run to you and ask how you made your relationship work so they can learn. Avoid keeping scores of what you did and what the other person didn't do. If you do that, you're going to face so many challenges. Let me tell you an interesting story. When I first moved to London, I was going out with some friends from work, and then when we went, they said to me, you know what? I'm going to pay today, and then tomorrow when we come, you will pay. And I'm thinking, this is different. This is strange. If you want to make your relationship like that, it's not gonna help. I also know people that when they go out with a lady or with a guy, they split the bill like 50-50, including all the cents. If there's 2 cents left, you pay 1 cent, I pay 1 cent. If you do that, you're not really building relationship. At some point, something must give. Be flexible. Don't keep scores. I paid for this, so you pay for that tomorrow, or I'm paying 27.1 cent, you will pay 27.1 cent. 50-50, and that's how it works. No, relationships don't work like that. If you want a long-lasting relationship, because at some point somebody is gonna ask, it doesn't look like they care much for me. Why? Because they won't do anything for you for free. You have to pay for it. You have to give me something, and then I'll give you something. Life doesn't really work that way. If you can give without expecting or taking, so it happens. These are things that happen. They are practical. They might happen with your friendships and everything. And if you make friendships like that as well, your friendships will not last, And so just some few things to guide us. Now, the last thing I want to add is pray. Pray over your relationship. If there's something you don't understand, please pray. Talk to the great I am. He's going to help you be able to come through with it. He might bring people into your life who are going to support you, who are going to help you be able to get to where you want to get to. It's not easy. It's a work in progress, yes, but in a good way. Marriage is a work in progress. And so if you have concerns, if you have worries, don't be afraid. Pray, leave it to God, and do your best. All these things I've mentioned at the beginning of this video are some of the things you have to do to help you get rid of the fear of getting married. And so if you haven't subscribed yet, kindly go ahead and hit on the subscribe button, like the video, and share with family and friends who could use a tip or two. And I will see you again in my next video tomorrow, same time, same place, and same space. The best way for you would be to subscribe to my channel. That way, each time I come on live, you can get notification. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you, and hope to see you again in my next one. Bye, and take care of yourself.